if we get closer on the 8 hour, it looks like we're in this consolidation period right now, where the market, the buyers and sellers are buying in like an equilibrium type of pattern. Okay, so if we imagine that we got a rope, so I'm sure you guys, when you were a kid, you used to play tug of war, right, Ryan? And we used to have some people on the other side, and we used to have some people on this side, right? And each team was pulling the rope to their side. All right, so that's what's been happening in this area. So we got buyers on this side, and we got sellers on this side. They're all pulling the rope, and the price is literally not moving anywhere because buyers and sellers are happy keeping the price at these areas. So we need some aggressive buyers and sellers to come now to push price to either to the upside, to the left side. And we are in this type of triangle pattern as well, symmetrical triangle, where, you know, price is just
bullish wedge, baby. Bullish wedge. Look at that thing.
Exactly. And the price is literally, the candles are, you can see from the volatility, it's declining. That means the candles are getting smaller and smaller in this area. And eventually it's going to lead onto a big breakout on either to the upside, which is very likely because we're still in a bull run, right? Or we could maybe go down and retest some lower areas, or maybe liquidate a lot of this area where previous buyers exist in the market, as I've mentioned in last week, and then, you know, push higher and break out. And Bitcoin is actually very similar to the total market cap right now. If you look at Bitcoin on the 8 hour, it's doing exactly the same thing. It's creating this symmetrical bullish wedge, as Kana mentioned, in this area. And we are literally on the daily close. If you look closely over here, we are hovering literally on the daily close. We are above the monthly close, so we are still in a bullish environment. And as I mentioned, because money is exiting the dollar, it needs to go to other assets such as Bitcoin, such as the S&P. And Bitcoin dominance looks very interesting as well. Is literally on the, if I go on the 8 hour, we are retesting really some historical highs right now in this area on the Bitcoin dominance that we've retested before. And usually in these areas, Bitcoin dominance gets rejected. And I think we are very close to alt season. And if you look at the total market cap of just the alts, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, it looks like we are on the weekly, we have closed above the previous all-time high. As you can see here, right? And we are going for a pullback. And now we've managed to stay above the 10 and 20 EMAs as well, which is telling us there's still bullish momentum in the market right now. And we are so close right now for a breakout, and alts can go absolutely crazy. What's your thought on this, guys?
Well, I completely agree with you. I'll give a little bit of my TA here.
Sure.
And just give me a sec. So let's, as you can see, I always kind of chop up my each whatever I'm looking at into 3 day, 1 day, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. On the 3 day, we do have this compression area here and movement to the upside. We've been bouncing around in here. What we need to do is we need to retest. Right? We haven't been able to get past this level here. Once we can break out of here, come back down, retest it, then we're going to get into new all-time highs. We're going to see retail flood in. Like we mentioned last time, this market is completely different because we don't have the retail this time. You know, last bull, we were hoping to get the adoption from industry, and then now we're just waiting for retail to come back in. And I'm not sure if it's exhaustion or what, but on the 4 hour, when we look at it, I'll clean it up. I'll take my indicators off for you here. You know, we can see this wedge that you were just talking about. And it's just been compressing in there, and bullish wedge coming up, getting in this space, and it leads to breakouts. So that being said, it can break up or it can break down. And what we have obviously is the FOMOC and all that stuff coming. When is that?
That's on Wednesday.
I'm on paint
FOMC.
tool. Today I will learn to be on the right tools when I do that. So yeah, we got the durable goods, no big deal. The interest rate decision, there might be some sell-off before this news. We might see a little bit of pullback. But what I'm seeing on the lower time frames is interesting. You know, New York's just waking up, and it looks like New York wants to put some money into the markets. You know, we've been capitulating in this area, and hopefully we'll start to see more money flow in this week. Probably end of week would be my 2 cents, is where we'll see the money flow in, because I think people are going to be waiting for this Wednesday news. So there's probably in these next few days, we're going to see this chop. And on the smaller time frames, the 30 minutes, we can see here that we're coming up to a bullish cross right here, and we should see some kind of momentum like that. Hopefully kind of get up into these highs, pull back, and turn this area here into support and go from there. I don't want to keep coming down in this 200 EMA. So I'd like to see that start to dwindle down and that go up. When you were talking about the dominance, I mean, oh, that's Bitcoin, sir. When we're talking about the dominance, this here is when I told everybody I was getting out of the market and that alts were going to crash, when everybody was saying we were in an alt season. And even on the last show, I said, we're not in an alt season. We've been in this parallel channel for eons. This was just a really nice run on those alts, XRP, ADA, some of the classics. And then December hit, right? We can see it down here. And we saw the dominance go right back into Bitcoin. Alts took a punishing. They kind of gave us a little bit of a rinse here. And now, hopefully, this is where we'll probably see, in my opinion, we'll probably see a little bit. Just clean this up a bit. You know, we're starting to see a pullback here now. What I'd like to see is the EMA start to curl and really come down. And what that's going to take is probably, we'll see probably a little bit of an increase in dominance, and then hopefully start to drop and retest this channel. It'll probably hit this channel, bounce, and then come back down. And then that's when we can send it and we can officially say, holy shit, we've had an alt season. But are we there yet? I don't think so. I think this news is going to cause a little bit of a, you know, a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting. We do have a lot of economic releases next week, and I think it's going to be a very, very important, eventful week. And we're going to find out if the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jeremy Powell, is going to be cutting interest rates, or it's just going to remain the same. So it's going to be very interesting. If they do cut the interest rates, then we could see a massive run on crypto because, you know, people will be able to borrow money at a cheaper rate. Businesses will be able to borrow money, and that money that will be borrowed will obviously get invested back into, you know, risk assets such as Bitcoin as well, because, you know, it's cheaper to do so. And if you look at Ethereum, so this was the total market cap excluding BTC and Ethereum, and it does look like we're at the all-time, we're hovering around the all-time highs, and it's just a matter of time where we break out and alts go crazy. And Ethereum is also creating that bullish wedge pattern that Cannon mentioned. In this area, it's literally on the monthly close. And what it did with Ethereum previously was it got rejected from this 8-hour supply. It went down. We created equal lows. We went up for a pullback back and created a new supply on the 8-hour, and then it crashed all the way below the monthly close. We liquidated some buyers in this area, and then bullish momentum came back into the market. And now, ever since then, we've just been consolidating. But bullish momentum seems to be still in the market right now, as you can see from the rising volume. But we did have a decline in volume on all assets, to be fair, on all crypto assets, and a decline in volatility. So it's only a matter of time we see some aggressive, orders coming back into crypto again.
I think there's two things at play here, in my opinion, Amir. And we were talking about this over dinner tonight. A lot of people right now are thinking Bitcoin 118 to 120,000. So they don't have their money in alts right now. They're waiting for this massive Bitcoin pump. And I believe the market makers are just giving them chop to take the money back and forth. And until we see that nice bounce up to the upside of Bitcoin to where we can, get a higher high and then start to slowly dwindle and then have the dominance go down and the market flow go into the alts, then we'll see our alt season. And I agree with you here. I think Ethereum is just dying to pop. It's just waiting to go. It is not dead. This is the time when you see Twitter and everybody's talking about something's dead. That should be your trigger to buy. That's me as a buy signal. The sheep are saying it's garbage, it's over. Ethereum's going to break all-time highs. It's going to melt faces, and I think it's probably going to do it within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, man. And don't be a sheep in this market, guys. Be a goat. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, you're absolutely right, man. I think Bitcoin, as it pumps, it also brings a lot of confidence back into the market as well. So people will start accumulating alts at the same time as well, and then that money that gets exited out of Bitcoin is going to drop back into the alts. And then we're going to see a massive alt season after that, and we go for another leg as well. It's basically going to be another leg for Bitcoin, and it's going to be the first leg of the breakout for alts for this one, which is going to mirror what Bitcoin did previously. And then we're going to go for a pullback up again. It's a continuous cycle until the end of the cycle. And let's look at Solana as well. Solana looks very interesting on the weekly as well. It looks like it has broken. This is on the weekly, and it has broken out and closed above the all-time high, very similar to what Total has done on here. It's literally mirroring that. And if we go on the daily, we are, as I mentioned, above the previous all-time high. We are again seeing that same pattern that we saw on the other assets like Ethereum and the Bitcoin. We see this triangle, bullish wedge. We see a rise in volume. There's a lot of interest in this area, guys. There's a lot of interest. And the volatility has also increased dramatically. If you look at the past, look how massive that volatility is, compared to the rest. So it's a very, very interesting area here, and one to really keep a lookout for. And one of the altcoins that me and the CryptoVest community are really, really into is UFD at the moment. And what I think about UFD is a very good project for a meme coin. The founder looks very legit. It looks very credible. He was a gold and silver trader, and the buying on this coin has been very aggressive. There's a lot of demand, and as I mentioned before, we did accumulate in this area and even lower on this coin, and we saw a pump on this coin. We went for a pullback, higher low. We went for another pump, and it created new high. We created new highs, and now I'm just waiting for lower areas, guys, on this coin. I think we are bouncing on this trend line at the moment, and the volume is also lower than what it was before. So there's not a lot of action in this coin, and volatility has also dropped. And we are seeing that triangle pattern again on this coin as well. But I'm expecting lower prices as Bitcoin pumps, like Nkana mentioned. I would expect this to give us lower entries, such as the 150 million, which is the median of this channel.
You don't think it's going to hold that trend line?
Sorry?
You don't think it's going to hold that trend line?
Hold this trend line? No. When I see price bouncing off this trend line, I expect a liquidity grab to the upside usually, and then a push to the downside and a pullback, and then a push lower into lower areas. And we got some equal lows in this area as well that price needs to retest in order to go back up again. So we could potentially go back to the 150 million and the 100 million. And I got buy limits in this area as well. So I'm ready to catch it if it does go down. But I think it's a solid coin. And Ryan actually loves this coin, the UFD. If you want to say anything about this, Ryan.
Yeah, sure. No, I completely agree. I mean, it is a meme coin, of course. And then when you look